Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps podcast. Um, Jacques, one of our listeners, Andrew, says you're never in when the Sharks lose, but you're here this weekend.
I am
So,
here.
Andrew,
It's Andrew. I am here. It was a horrible weekend for the Sharks. Luckily, I didn't watch it. Um,
uh,
my I just got a message from my girlfriend's father, and all he said was sorry.
is he a Bull
And my
supporter?
reply, he's the Lions.
Okay. I can't talk too much right now as well. Then,
And all he said was sorry. And I said I didn't watch. I was busy raping myself. He said, all I'm gonna say is sorry.
but since
And I
we're
knew.
discussing it, let's just go into what happened this past weekend. Um, in the rugby. Um, Munster going down at home against Edinburgh, which was a bit of a shock. Maybe
Where's our man? Where's our man?
I think he's in Benetton country right now, trying to convert himself because he's in Rome apparently this weekend, this week. But
Oh,
yeah, or maybe he's becoming a Zebra fan because the Zebra beat the Dragons. But I mean, to be honest, it is the Dragons. Um,
yeah.
then the game that we were just talking about, your father-in-law, or hopefully potential future father-in-law. Um, the Lions versus the Sharks, but it looked like the Sharks are holding back this week. Like Sia came off the bench, and it looked like quite a few senior players came off the bench.
Who they playing
So
next week? Oh, well, this week.
yeah, no, this week they playing the round one game this week. Um, so yeah, Leinster, of course, beating Cardiff. I mean, that was to be expected. Though I have read an article this past week, which I will reference again. The fact that Geordie Barrett is now throwing a spanner into the whole line selection because Ringrose and Henshaw and all that, or not Henshaw, but Ringrose isn't getting enough playing time because Geordie Barrett's there. But we'll bring that up later. A horrible game, and by horrible, I will pause now and put in a quick video. Of torrential downpour in Pretoria. That was not a rugby game. That was a water polo game, an underwater rugby game. It was it was wet. My cousin, she was there even. She just said it came down, and it was coming down through the game. But Stormers luckily picked on top. It was good to see Evan Ross looking like the Springbok caliber player that he's been on and off, coming back. Yuri Matthew as well. I think he's starting to put his hand up quite a bit, and to a point that Russ is going to have a look at him. Um,
Well, who's that?
then
That's that young fly off, right?
yeah,
Uh, one day we've got no fly offs, and the next week we've got six. What's
yeah,
happening?
and
Even Billy LaRue's a fly off now.
and the Bulls have got Pollard back.
And that
Yeah, they just signed him on now, which I'm, to be
couple of days
honest,
ago.
As a Cape Townian, I'm a bit upset that he's decided to go back there. But anyway, I mean, both him and his wife are from here, from Cape Town. But anyway, um, Ulster versus Scarlets. Ulster just pipping up on top. Glasgow losing at home by 1 point to Ospreys, and I saw Osprey fans literally losing their mind over that win. It's good to see that they're becoming very positive and everything. Uh, around right now. And Connacht
I would
beat.
love to see their podcast how they went on.
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces. I've been doing more studying than watching other stuff right now. But the clip that I saw on TikTok, they did look very excited. And I think it on X as well. They were they all individual accounts and podcast accounts were busy going crazy about it. But I mean, yeah, and then like Connacht and Benetton, with Connacht coming on top. This week, Sharks are hosting the Lions. Now, the reason why
Ooh,
I didn't harp too much on that game was because we were going to talk about it now. To me, it almost looked like the Sharks were holding back a bit. I mean, they had Grant. I think Grant Williams and Sia both came off from the bench. Grant Williams had an awesome break, which then gave Sia a try. But
well,
yeah, they're going to have to step up this
ooh,
week.
they're gonna have to because. But I think if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the table, I think it's only the Sharks and the Lions that's on 11 games, or just the Lions and the Lions and the Sharks.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean,
So even if
if you
you
look
see, even
here,
if we do win, we can't go past the Bulls.
yeah, no, it's a bit hard. But I mean, I was just looking at this. This is all literally from 15 all the way up to 7 is literally one game that can define the whole league for
Just
each
go up
team.
again, but again, see, there's a
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to win, otherwise Munster can catch us.
dude, we could even catch you.
Excuse
So
me, you can't even catch a win that goes past the DHL stadium. Come on, man.
look, we are 28. I mean, honestly, look, it's 28 all the way up until 9, including the Lions, which I would like you to beat them, please, and then they can drop in points difference, and we can go up above. But literally not this weekend, but the weekend after when we go back to playing, it's a pretty close. Like you're looking when you look at the fact that Stormers are sitting at 12, you're like, oh, it's one or two games that can change your whole league now.
Yeah,
If the guys are up above us lose one or two games and we win the next one or two games, we up above them, which means we're back in Challenge Cup territory.
correct.
I mean, the only team that's really out of it right now is Dragons. I think that yeah, they're on 8 points. So I mean, they pretty much
How many games do we play? 15, right?
I think it's 15 or 16. I could be wrong. Well, let's just go look at
15. Because there's
matches.
only 15, so
Yeah,
it's 16 teams.
week 15, 18. Yeah, so there's 18 games. Yeah,
But that
so
means there's 3 teams that we play twice.
yes, your home teams.
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
we played you away and at home. We played the Bulls at home and away. Played the Lions at home and away. And then the international teams, or let's just say the other teams, we play once each time, either home or away. It gets mixed up.
Hmm. If it's
Yeah.
home this year, it's away next year.
No, because we played Leinster at home like three times, and this year we played them away.
Huh.
Yeah,
Strange.
it is a bit strange, but yeah, because I went to the first Leinster game, I went to the second Leinster game. Oh,
And you
second
lost
year could
both
have
of
been
them.
different. I could, yeah. No. This year was the first time Leinster beat us.
Uh, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
There's
So I mean,
mosquitoes.
it's still pretty open. I mean, the fact that now Lions are going away after this, you guys are at home, you guys and the Bulls. We also go away now. That's why I said it's still up in the air where you go and everything like this. It's not the end of the world yet, but if you slip up, I reckon within the next 2-3 games could define where you're going to end up in the log.
Then you're in trouble, though.
Yeah. But then talking about logs, let's go over to our wonderful Northern Hemisphere teams, where we have the do or die game. France have to beat Ireland to get a chance to win the Six Nations. Ireland has to beat France to keep their Grand Slam dreams alive this year.
Correct.
Which also, I reckon this makes it even fun as well, because whoever wins this game could potentially win the Six Nations. And whoever wins the Six Nations is definitely playing against South Africa in the end of year tour.
But we
So,
play Ireland, we play Italy, we play
and we
Wales,
play
we play
France.
England,
No, we're
and
playing
France.
France. Yeah. That's what I said. Potentially, we could be playing Six Nations. Whoever wins that game, we're playing the Six Nations champions, which is going to put a lot more pressure on the game for both sides, because there's the whole thing: is South Africa better than them? Are they better than us? It's going to make the end of year tournament or the end of year games actually quite intense.
Very interesting.
Yeah. But I do think Ireland are going to take it because it's a lot more emotional. Like I said, there's three of the international players who are retiring: Peter Marnie, Conor Murray, and I think it's Tag Berg. I could be mistaken with Tag, but yeah. Then we have Scotland going up against Wales. Wales did put their hand up the last game that they played, but I think Scotland is definitely going to take it. And I've been hearing a lot of chatter about England, the fact that this is kind of Borthwick's do or die game, because I think, I can't remember who said it. They said, if you win, but it's ugly, he could still be out from Italy. But he could still lose, but it could be a good game and show potential and still make it. So it's very hard to see if we're going to see Borthwick at the end of the year or not. We're going to have to wait and see with that.
I think in cases like this, they put way too much pressure on a coach. Um, Obviously, you are pushed to win, you are pushed to perform, but although it is the coach's fault if your team lose because he didn't pick the right team, or however it should be, but they have to give a guy some space. Look at
Yeah, but I mean,
it's 2 from
yeah,
3.
yeah.
It's a bit harsh.
The I mean, the thing is, they beat France at home, and then they beat Scotland at home. But people weren't happy with the way they beat Scotland, even though they did win. It wasn't a clean win. But also, I think what happens right now is they're putting a lot more pressure on themselves, because they know there's a lot of talk about the fact that Southern Hemisphere rugby dominates rugby. Whether you want to admit it or not, Southern Hemisphere rugby is the most dominant rugby there is. They can make an all-star team, we can make an all-star team, and we'll probably still wipe the floor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think that's also why they put a lot more pressure on there. I think Rassi even said in these 18 months he was there with Munster, you could feel the passion for the game. However, he would not want to go compete in it because it's a lot more back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So he has come up with a good solution for Southern Hemisphere rugby to keep up with Northern Hemisphere in the timelines, and also help Northern Hemisphere reduce their time of playing, because you do get a lot of Northern Hemisphere teams complaining the fact that South Africa doesn't bring the right teams to the European Cups, or they're not keeping up and everything. But yeah, we will keep an eye on that. But we'll just have to see what happens. But I mean, going on to some news. Apparently, the All Blacks sweep for NRL's superstar is still on the table. Kalen Ponga. I think I still remember. I think it was before the last World Cup when they were trying to entice him to switch modes to go from a league to union. They were saying he was going to be like the New Zealand version of Jeslyn Colby. So
Okay.
yeah, but we will have to see. David Campisi labels Ireland a joke and highlights flaky Sam Pendergast as player France exploits. The fact that now Intermac is back, I think he is back from suspension. Does make it quite good. It is going to give Pendergast a formidable fly half to
A
go up
run for
against.
money, some
Yeah,
competition.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then of course SA Rugby, and I do have to agree with this comment that was made. That feels like the Springboks get punished by World Rugby for becoming world champions. I do believe there is a lot of what you call it emphasis
Yeah.
on South African rugby when we become world champions. It's not the first time we've heard this comment. Um, then there is a big discussion whether or not they're going to play Finn Smith over Marcus Smith in at fullback. And honestly, I'll go with Finn over Marcus any day. Uh,
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I haven't watched one Six Nations game this entire Six Nations. I've been busy every single weekend um, with my own personal rugby, and by the things that I hear, I actually agree with you.
yeah. I mean, I've just been watching a bit on and off, on and off. Also, I don't like Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith as well. When he first came on the scene, looked lean and everything like this. Now he just looked like he's had a bit too much mince pies. He's become pudgy and everything like that.
Don't talk about do not talk about mince pies like that. Now I'm hungry. Where am I gonna go
Sorry.
get a mince pie now? Come on, man. I'm already a fatty. I am a Marcus Smith.
No, you went from playing scrum half to hooker. Is that that's Gaten over there? So you see over here. So following South Africa's departure from Super Rugby, they aligned their clubs with the Northern Hemisphere. However, they still compete in Southern Hemisphere Rugby Championship, 12-month seasons, which is part of the problem that we have right now. And I think Rassie cracked the code with that 12-month season. The fact that I think there was
Mm.
80 players, the last number that I heard, with players included in lineman camps being virtual or physical. Um, and the fact that he played 51 different players on the field last year. I think he's cracked the code
Yeah,
regarding that because he's not like everything on one player. It's like, okay, cool, chop and change here and there. One,
yeah.
um, the way he's done it is right, where it's not like, okay, you're out. But at the same time, he's like also letting someone know, like, listen, there's that youngster knocking on the door for your spot. Uh, if you're not going to pull up your socks, he's going to get more opportunities than you. So we'll have to see. But I mean, over here, Erasmus has proposed moving the rugby championship to coincide with the Six Nations, which is currently going on in Europe. And he says, I think it would sort out a lot of problems, player load, injury wise, with the URC and European Cup. It would definitely free up a lot of weeks for us, he said, as he reported to the Telegraph. Um, so that would suggest a potential move to the Six Nations is no longer an option. He says, us joining the Six Nations, I'm not sure how that sits with other people. We admire the competition when he was at Munster and he realized how big it was. I think that was the 18 months that he was there that I mentioned up earlier.
See
Pretty
what
much,
what I would think. What I would think is a good thing to do is the champions. Well, the Tri Nations champions, whatever it is. It's also 6 weeks, right?
5 weeks
Why not
though.
5 weeks?
No,
Why
Northern's
not
5, we're
play?
6.
Why not play our champions, the rugby championship, the same time as the Six Nations.
Well, that's what he's saying, is to move the two together. But now you see, this is why I say Northern Hemisphere won't win the World Cup. All right, we are starting to feel it now with all the injuries, and I mean the Stormers with 15 injuries. Well, now you can take it to 14 because Steven Kitchof's retired, and we're losing Brock at the end of the season. Though we signed Manucci apparently, which is decent. All right, I think he's got a very good future. He's a very fast for prop. Um, we do get a lot of injuries around this time and everything. But if you go look at Northern Hemisphere in the past, where it's always been URC top 14 Premiership happening at the same time as Super Rugby, or not Super Rugby, as Six Nations. Whereas with Super Rugby, we played, we stopped, we played. So everybody was playing. And during that time that the Super Rugby ended, it was Currie Cup for us, which kind of allowed the players that weren't playing for the Springboks opportunity to play and everything like that, which kept the rugby flowing for South Africa for the lower guys. But we let the Springboks play there, they played there, and then we all went back to Super Rugby, and then we had 2 months off, and then we had end of year, and then we kind of started with the warm-ups going into Super Rugby starting in Feb.
Yeah.
And I've said it to a lot of people. I've said it to a lot of people. It's because of their load that they won't win a World Cup, especially with now the fact that it's become more professional, it's more money orientated. If a club's not getting their money worth in, they lose sponsors. Because the more you win, the more DHL will sit with us, the more Hollywood bets will sit with you guys, all that kind of stuff. It becomes a money thing, and I think it, in a way, it's ruined the sport in the sense of it's become more of a marketing ploy for companies to look good, to sponsor the right teams. But at the same time, it's taken player well-being out. I mean, South African rugby right now can't keep up with the load that European teams have because they have the money in there. They offer a guy €100, and that guy from South Africa is like, "Cool, I'm there," because €100 is like 2,300 bucks, and they live off minimal stuff because they get everything given to them while they're there. They have a house, they have this. It's all given to them. That they live minimalistic, saving up to come back, and then they come back in a few years, and that's why you're getting a lot of these guys from. Yeah. And unfortunately, we are. I mean, the fact that now I think they said something like 250 million rand is required in the sale of Newlands for the union to pay back loans.
I think there was an amount of 400 million that I also read in that same article. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly what that's about. I think. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I just know that it's a lot of money.
No, it's a lot of money. I think it was 400 million. Then with the injection from Red Dizer has covered most of it, but of course the loan for the field, the loan or something like that has to be still paid back. And with that is what Newlands, and I honestly think whoever buys it needs to be able to let it still be used for grassroots. Let your under whatever's the junior guys play there. You have businesses around the thing. It's a great opportunity. You get the guys to practice there every now and again. The Springboks, the what you call it. You're going to make your money back one way or another that way, because then you can pay let people come in and watch.
Yeah, true. But luckily, the decisions are not with us, right?
It's not with us, yes, because, but again, as I said, is you got to look at a team. You can either agree with the team or you can disagree with the team, or you can kind of agree with the team but disagree with a few players, but you're not the coach.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, it's always going to be one of those things. You can talk until the cows come home and everything. You can take the horse to the water, but it won't drink. It's something that you have to kind of put up with and survive. Yeah,
Unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately. But yes, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit awesome what we're seeing happening in rugby. Unfortunately, the Fijian Dura have made quite a well in Dalo made it quite a serious claim regarding the treatment of the Dura team. The fact that they arrived, I think, was in Wellington or something like that, and the bus that they had ordered, apparently the bus company made a mix-up, and they could only get one there back in 3 hours, and they didn't want to wait 3 hours. They wanted to get to the hotel, so they got into the back of a truck, got to the hotel, only to find out they were late check-in, and the hotel. In all honesty, when you're dealing with sports teams and international sports teams, I think you need to make you know preference to like, okay, we do understand it's a late check-in. Here we go. Um, that yeah. However, I did see some people complaining to Ndala saying, yeah, but isn't that the manager's job and shouldn't they double check? They're still a young team. They're going to make mistakes. But at the same time, when you know you have an international sports team or a big sports club coming to play and they're using your facilities, you kind of want to make a good name for them because now, let's just say it was the Hilton, they're going to go like, stuff the Hilton, we'd rather go to Holiday Inn. It's a bit
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
loss
it
of
is.
money. And I mean, Ndala said even when they know that like the guys are coming from New Zealand over, they got police brigades, they got everything to pick them up at the hotel.
First class
Oh,
treatment.
first class treatment. But when they rocked up at New Zealand, it was like second class citizens. So
Mm.
I do think that's also got to do with the management of the tournament because something like that should also be done properly. If you know another team's coming to you internationally, you need to make an effort. Go like, okay, cool. Listen, yeah, we understand they might be late. Can you please allow them late check-in because of here. Yeah, I mean, if that hotel name is part of the sponsorship, you're probably going to see people smashing things all over the field because yeah. But yeah,
No,
I
definitely.
don't.
That's
Yeah. Any news on your results?
they say that our results will only be back next week, which I think is not lacquer because I've got sleepless nights about it.
Yeah, you look tired.
Because I want to know what I did. I want to so that I can move past it. If I fail, I fail. If I pass, I want to be happy. But I spoke to the guy yesterday, and he said to me they'll only give us our results back next week.
Okay. Are
So
you
let's
still
hope for the
talking to
best. I
Griffin?
already, yeah, every now and again.
Okay. See him with his little
Uh,
grey college socks. Yeah.
I didn't know that he went to Grey.
Well, it just he had the same socks as under Hugo Fenter and
No, no,
Stenenkamp.
he did go to Grey.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, you went to Grey. That's all I knew. You went to Grey. No, I was looking at the Lions team, and I think I counted 6 of the 23 were from Paul boys, and I think another 4 were from Paul Jim. In their lineups that they had. I was like, so much for being Joburg boys. And no one had like Jeppe socks or St. or something like that on. So it was kind of funny to watch that. And I think Jacques has gone and come back, and he is back.
Apologies,
Woo!
apologies. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of funny to see where all the players came from, and the fact that they were like all over, but like Cape Town.
Cape Townians playing Lions.
I still had to laugh.
Times.
I think it was during the World Cup. Yeah, when Sasha did that awesome try where he did all that fancy footwork before he scored the try. They had a replacement front row that came on, and all of them played in pole gym together.
Yes,
for the Lions.
That must be nice. Sure.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny to watch. Like, oh, here comes so. Or was it Paul Royce? It was one of them. But yeah. But anyway, I think that's all we got for this weekend. It's a little bit shorter. It feels a bit funny without Dara because Dara also talks quite a bit. In a good way, if Dara, if you're watching this.
He does. He talks a lot. But anyway, I'll rather wait for him to come so I can give him a little bit of crap.
About losing to Edinburgh at home.
Correct.
Was he scouting his new team while he was in Rome?
It has to be.
All right. But anyway, fellow champions, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow this community bigger. Jacques, go to sleep. You look like you're done for the day. At least tomorrow's Friday.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see if I ref tomorrow night, but Saturday there's 2 games. Hopefully I'll make it.
Yeah. And then hopefully you have something to tell your girlfriend's father to sit down, please, sir, after this weekend.
Let's hope so.
All right. Cheers, people. Have a good one.
Cheers.